So I've bought a lot of books. I buy a lot of books, and I realized recently that I just like hit like $1,000 worth, which this does not feel like. But I was like, okay, I should probably actually like take a look at all that I have here and just see how much I've wasted my money on. And maybe you'll all be interested in what I have here because I think it's a good reflection of the stories I like. There's a lot more that I want to get yet, which maybe I'll talk about at the end. But this is the first $1,000 down the drain, and I'm gonna just go through it in order and just talk about what's here because like why not? Like what else am I gonna do? Get a job? So we're just gonna go through it all, and whoever watches this and is interested. So first with all, we've got I think I made it very clear in past videos and with people who know me that I like this. I like Attack on Titan quite a bit. I have all the volumes. There's 34 of them. You'll notice here I only have 7, but that's because each of these has 5 volumes within it. It's a big omnibus version. They call it the Colossal Edition, which is very funny. Um, so each volume is like maybe this long, and then it's just 5 of these packed together. And the first 2 have like some color pages and stuff as well, which is pretty neat. The second one is weird because I'm gonna try and get this video done in one take. We'll see how that goes. This one has at the very end like an Avengers crossover, which is weird. But I think that's kind of funny because it means that canonically, the Attack on Titan protagonists are all Avengers. Um, yeah, it goes all the way to the end of the series. The last one came out like I think September last year, so I've got everything. Everything that hasn't even been in the show yet. And I've also got like a couple extra stuff here too. I've got No Regrets, which is Levi's backstory. Not in the underground, but when he left the underground, and it's all right. I find that a lot of exposition in this story is just kind of given really weirdly. Like a lot of information you kind of need to know what the characters are doing is only really given like close to the end, which I thought was needlessly confusing. But it was like meant to be like a big mystery or something. I don't know. I could be remembering wrong, but I wasn't a big fan of it. But it is this version is in full color, which I think is pretty cool. Um, so there's that. Then I also these ones I got recently. I haven't actually fully read them yet. I'm weird. I like books that are basically just guides to fictional things. I don't know why. Like I've read this full story, so I don't know why I need a guidebook about it yet. But I bought this. I bought a character encyclopedia. Um, I don't know why I have these, but I'm gonna read them eventually. Um, I got these like last week. This one has like a colossal titan papercraft in it, which I don't know if I'm ever gonna do, but there that is. And it also has like a rough draft of the first ever chapter of the series, which is interesting because it's like a little different and stuff. This one's just character encyclopedia. It's got. Oh, let me see if I can find him. It's got my favorite character in here. Um, I'm a big fan of him. Let me see if I can find him here for you because it's very worth it. Okay, here he is. Hang on. So this book does have my favorite character listed, Chubby Man. So I'm very glad that he's here and that he has representation. So that's cool. This one I think only goes up until like season 4, so it's kind of out of date as opposed to the start of season 4. This one goes I think until like the end of season 2, so they're kind of out of date, but they're still interesting, and they're not like they don't have like incorrect information. They just don't have like full information. Next, we move on to what everybody knows me for, which is all the FNAF stuff. I don't have everything. There's like cookbooks and like activity books and coloring books that I don't have because I think that's not something I need. Because this is definitely something I need. But I do have, as I just mentioned, another character encyclopedia. This book is absolute garbage, but I have it because I need these guidebooks for fictional universes. I guess. I mean, they kind of just slap some PNGs on a page and call it a day, I think. But there's like character descriptions and stuff, which, while not always accurate, is interesting and whatever. It's cool. I don't care. What is a better guide, in my opinion, is the Freddy Finals. This is the 3rd edition, which is updated until Help Wanted, I think. And then there's one for the next game, Security Breach, which is its own thing, which looks like it's terrible, so I'm not going to buy it. But this one's cool. It has like a whole bunch of stuff, gameplay secrets, secrets, like maps of the restaurants and stuff. It has like a mini character encyclopedia, I guess you'd call it, which I'm trying to find here. Like descriptions for a bunch of characters. It's got like even like little blueprints and stuff from like one of the games. It's very in depth. It talks about the books as well. It goes into full detail about like stories from the books, which is cool. Has illustrations we've never seen before from the book, so I think this is like a way better guide, and it actually talks about the lore in a somewhat accurate way, which is cool. I don't like how when I pull one of these books out, two more come with it, because it's just so packed tightly together here. I should move some of these over here, probably, but that all FNAF stuff wouldn't be together. That would just bother me. Here, this is what everyone knows me for. These are the graphic novels, which I've done dubs of. And we got voice actors, we got music, we got everything. I thought the art for the first one was kind of mid. It doesn't look great, which isn't the artist's fault. I've said that before, but the artists were kind of rushed for these, which is just Scholastic being Scholastic. I think the illustrator for the Fourth Closet even recently has talked about how Scholastic gives very tight deadlines, which is not ideal, you know. But the Twisted ones in the Fourth Closet, I think, have better art for them. They are, of course, based off of these three here, which are the originals, the first ever FNAF book, the first ever trilogy of FNAF books. And those are really weird, but I think I prefer them to the graphic novels just because they have more information. But they're still strange. But not as strange as this 18 books, Fazbear Frights, Tales from the Pizzaplex, whatever you want to call it. 3 short stories in each book about FNAF characters, and sometimes not about FNAF characters. Sometimes they're just about, like, evil street signs and stuff, or Springtrap making Matt Pat pregnant or something. I don't know. These are weird. I talk about them more in my video, What the Internet Had Defined as Freddy's, because they're just so mind-bogglingly insane at points. Like, the first few are normal. They're just like spooky stories with FNAF characters, but then they get really weird, and then you get to like a girl turning into a pizza and stuff. It's yeah. And then they rebooted it for like what I want to call like a season 2 of Fazbear Frights, Tales from the Pizzaplex, which is just about security breach. And I didn't think that they would have enough to do many books in security breach, but I think it's getting like 9 books or something. So it's going strong so far. It's actually it's turned out better than Fazbear Frights was, in my opinion. So, not all of them are out yet. There's, I think, 3 more to come. 1 coming out this month as of when I'm recording this. I don't know when this video is coming out, but in total, I guess we have, like, 54 short stories so far, which is insane. I couldn't remember all of them if I tried. This 12th one is interesting because it was only released in a box set of the other 11 here of Fazbear Frights. And I was not going to buy all these books again, but I really wanted a physical copy. So I decided, you know what, I'm not going to buy the box set, but what I'm just going to do is I'm going to find a PDF of the book online, and I'm just going to, like, go self-publish my own version on Amazon. So I literally took a PDF of this book, and I went to Amazon's, like, self-publishing service where they let you make your own books, and I just copy-pasted it into there, and I just, like, now I have the book, and the only downside is that there's this ugly marking on top because I didn't actually publish it for other people to buy. I figured that would probably be even more illegal, but this is, you know, this works for me at least. And so, yeah, it's if you look, you can see like the cover's like I think a little blurrier than it's supposed to be, because I just took an image and plopped it on here of the book's cover, but it's the whole book is here. The font is a little different and everything. It's weird, but I have the book now, so that's great. And then yeah, we talked a little bit about these guys. Let's move on to Junji Ito. Let me just make sure I'm still recording because I really want to just record this in one take, please. I do not want to have to record this again. Thank you. So Junji Ito, I got this one recently because I'm going to be talking about it in an upcoming video. Venus in the Blind Spot. Junji Ito is a popular horror mangaka, I guess is the word, and he writes these really weird, I love this cover, really weird horror stories, one of which I talk about in my next video, but this has several of his short stories in it. He is sometimes very disturbing and clever, and other times he just comes up with the weirdest things, which I'll also be talking about in my next video because I don't want to give too much away here. This is, I guess that's just a dust jacket, so underneath you have like the actual cover, which I think is pretty spooky. I don't know if you can see it here, but there's like a dead guy there, which I think I know what story that's from, but I'll have to double check. I like these like simplistic covers. I think it looks I think it looks quite classy. Let me just put this back on. And I've got two of his other books here. I guess we can't really see them from there. Um, so yeah, he's a mixed bag of work, but I like some of his stories, and I was like, okay, even if I don't like all of them, I want to buy the books that have the stories I do like, just so I have them. Um, when the internet inevitably explodes and we cannot access any of this online anymore, because the world ends when the solar flares come and they blow up the internet, and then we can't access anything online anymore. Um, anyway, so Deserter. This one is a collection of his earliest works. The art is actually abysmal, and I forget why I bought this. It's probably the most regrettable purchase I've made from this collection. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. This is, I think, one of his earliest stories, and I don't know if you can see, but the art is just not that great. He was still figuring himself out. But then you get towards the end of the book, and it's actually some like good stories here. Like the last one in here, Deserter, is I think one of my favorite stories in his. So that in and of itself is maybe makes this book worth it, but I'm not sure because like over half this book I'd say looks terrible, and some of the ideas here as well are just dumb. But I have it, so whatever. Here's probably his most popular work, Uzumaki. It's a whole long form thing, so most of his stories are just short stories. This one is also kind of short stories, but they're all together in the same town, and they're all about kind of the same thing and the same main characters. The whole thing is a town is being possessed by a spiral, and everyone is going to die. So it's got some good stuff in here. It's also got some weird stuff in here. But it's got some of my favorite stuff of his, and I think it's overall pretty cool. People turn into snails, so that's the thing that happens. Moving on. Yeah, I read most of these. The only ones here that I haven't read so far are these two guidebooks for Attack on Titan, Venus in the Blind Spot, because I bought that recently as well, and then this Death Note one here, which I'll get to in a second. I'm in the middle of reading. I have these Death Note Black editions, so it's all 12 volumes of Death Note, but like with these, it's kind of multiple volumes in one book. So this is 2 volumes in one. I'm trying not to touch the cover because you can see fingerprints and stuff on here very easily, and it's very annoying because then you have to kind of wipe it off. But because that just bothers me for some reason. I think this really fits the tone of the series, just a completely black look. I think it's very classy, you know? Like I mentioned earlier, I like these classy, simplistic covers. I think they look cool. It's a good story. I forgot how much I liked it. It's actually, I don't even mind the second half very much. Some people really don't like the second half. I think it's okay if it's a bit hard to follow at times, if things feel a bit contrived at times. It is okay. And the ending, the final like few chapters, I think are superb. They're a really great way to close off the series. Until you get to the other bonus stuff. I'm gonna buy some more of the like side story things that have come out for this series, but the one I have right now is this one. It's Another Note is what it's called, and it's about L, the detective character in the series, and he's on another case, and it's actually pretty good. I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be kind of mediocre, but it's a pretty good novel so far. It's written in an interesting way where it's narrated kind of by 2 people, but not quite. It's strange. And I'm like halfway through, I guess. It's pretty good. It's a weird looking cover, but I do like it quite a bit. It's another dust jacket, which kind of covers half the thing, and then underneath you got this like very cool, I don't know what you'd call this, but it looks nice. So I like that. Maybe that's part of the reason I like this so much, is just because it makes me feel distinguished when I'm reading it, and reading about the horrific grisly murders that it describes. So that's cool. Moving on, these next few are books that I've had for years, but that I've just haven't touched in years. And first we've got these. When I first saw these, I was like big into Minecraft for the first time, and I was like, oh, I've got to have these. They're going to make me such a pro gamer. And then they didn't, but I still think they're cool. They're kind of inaccurate in places, which I only realized recently, but they're fun, you know? They're a good introduction to the game, even if they're a bit out of date now. I think there's new versions, which maybe I'll pick up just so I can say that I have them. Because I don't know, those will be outdated in a few years too, so whatever. it kind of serves as a good time capsule that note, you know, because it shows like, hey, how things were different as the game got updated. So maybe that would be cool to have like both versions and kind of see how the game has changed. I kind of like that idea. I kind of like that idea. It's a waste of money, but I kind of like it. Now this one is interesting. We'll ignore that for now. Uh, Elementia. These are the books that inspired my channel name because they're a Minecraft fan fiction. They are thick. These are thick books. This is, I think, 500 pages. 500, yeah. This last one here is, oh man, 800 pages. No one in their right mind would write an 800-page Minecraft fan fiction, but someone did, and now he, I think, follows me on Twitter, so that's cool. They're actually insane, but I really like them. They're actually like, there's some really good storytelling in these, honestly. Like, I still call myself a fan because they're written pretty competently. The fact that it's Minecraft means that some serious moments don't necessarily come across that way because it's Minecraft and it's very funny. But they're good books, and I'm glad I have them here. The reason my channel was named after that is because I originally wanted to make a fully animated movie based off of these books, and that was never going to happen because I don't know how to animate anything. But maybe in the future when I'm very rich, I can pay a group of people to just do it for me. That'd be neat. Anyway, lastly, we've got the only book you really need. Have you read it today? Because you better have. That's it. $1,000 down the drain, and I'm never getting it back.